Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. Alright, I have on your, as you see on your screen here, ex-CIA Chief James Woolsey, if I'm pronouncing the name right, U.S. headed toward nuclear crisis. Alright, which is, the apostles and their teachers before them been saying that, the prophets been saying it. Now we had this guy saying it, the ex-CIA chief. Alright, so let me play the video for everybody to see, and shockingly it only had 3 views. Oh wait, it come out 3 days ago, 3 views. Let me play the video.
International affairs, especially dealing with a tough customer like China. I think that it is also going to be a real disaster if the White House uses Twitter in the middle of a nuclear crisis. And we are headed, I'm afraid, toward the real possibility of a nuclear crisis.
Say that one more time.
I said we are headed, I'm afraid, toward having a real possibility of a nuclear crisis.
Straight on to the point. He say we are headed, he's afraid, toward the possibility of having a real nuclear crisis. In other words, he afraid that how the world's shaping up, that America is going to be hit by ICBM thermonuclear bombs. Okay? And that is 100% biblical. Us now, just waiting on the internet to do what you gotta do, or the app. Joel chapter 2 verse 1 says, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand." It says, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there had not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. It says, a fire devoured before them. So now we know it's not talking about people. It is speaking about missiles. Okay? Missiles. Because a fire devoured before them. What the fire before them? Meaning in the front of them is a devouring fire, a consuming fire. That is the warheads. It says, and behind them a flame burneth. That is the projection, the trajectory for the missiles, for the nukes. Alright? But when Joel see it, it looked like people. So you see a great people and a strong. But they were actually missiles. Parabolic. And he used the wording of his day to describe what he was seeing. He couldn't say ICBM missiles coming my way. He used what it looked like to him. But through the Spirit which searcheth all things, we know, beginning with the apostles, that it's speaking about ICBM thermonuclear missiles. It says, a fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. It says the land the land talking about America is as the Garden of Eden. Eden meaning paradise or joy. And right now, America is the peak, the chief nation on the earth. People look to that land for a better way of life, a better living. Alright? So that is like Eden. So the land is as the Garden of Eden before them, talking about the missiles. Let me just say, just to make a point, the missiles had eyes, like literally, and it could have see when it being shot. It could have see the land of America. So the missiles looking down at America America would have looked like the Garden of Eden in the eyes of the missiles. Alright? But here what is going when the missiles land. And behind them a desolate wilderness. So when the missiles drop and detonate, it makes the Garden of Eden, which is America, a desolate wilderness. It says, yea, and nothing shall escape. Nothing shall escape, but the elect going on escape. Okay? The elect going on escape by way of the chariots of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. But nothing else, the ones who destined to be destroyed, they ain't going on escape. Okay? So let me see if I could play back Mr. Woolsey, the Edomite.
Would be very much better if this had been dealt with when the North Koreans developed satellites and ballistic missiles and nuclear weapons 4 or 5 years ago. But we tried to, in the Bush II administration, we tried to buy them off with concessions and time, and they tried the same thing in the Obama administration. In both cases, the North Koreans lied and did what they wanted to do. And so you can't really trust a deal with the North Koreans at all. What you have to have is a deal with China that gets China working with you and puts real pressure on North Korea, particularly financial pressure. It's developed satellites and ballistic missiles and nuclear weapons 4 or 5 years ago. But we tried to, in the Bush II administration, we tried. It is also going to be a real disaster if the White House uses Twitter in the middle of a nuclear crisis. And we are headed, I'm afraid, toward the real possibility of a nuclear crisis. To buy them off with concessions and time, and they tried this.
Like, whoever doing the video just keep, me know what's going on. But you say it again, we headed toward the real possibility of a nuclear crisis. Alright? And it is true. It is true. America is going to become the place where all the nukes, or majority of the nukes of these nations, that is the place where you're going to detonate. The land of the United States of America. And anybody who in that land, when that time reach, you shall not escape. That's why the scripture says, nothing shall escape them. Right there. A desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. Nothing. Nothing going to escape them. Alright? Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 1. It says, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon. Now Babylon is America. Okay? And the Most High say he's going to raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me. And how did you rise up against the Most High? By touching his people. I'll go back there just now. Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 3. It says, Israel was holiness unto Yahweh, and the first fruits of his increase. all that devour him shall offend. So that is how he rose up against the Most High. Evil shall come upon them, saith Yahweh. And that evil is the destruction of you fucking devils. So it says, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me. And then the ultimate stupidity of you so-called white people is to actually physically rise up against the Most High when he come back with the chariots for war, the war in heaven. In the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind, because when them nukes hit, it does have a wind, a wind before the fire actually burn you, a destroying blast, a wind that just blow down everything, alright, and melt certain things, and lost my train of thought, but it does have a wind doing that. Just now, let me see if I find it.